Which square, large, medium, or small, covers more of the plane? So we have our yellow squares, our green squares, or our white squares, and we're trying to figure out which one has more area, right? So which one covers more of the plane. So what I would say, our question here is finding the area. Our notes here I would say that we should probably figure out how many of these smaller squares are in the bigger square so that we can compare them. We want to find some way to compare the two areas. So in this case here, if we have like a little, we got a straight line here, and that tells us, okay, it's about two yellow squares tall, right? So if we had another yellow square there, the green squares would be two yellow squares tall. If you notice here as well, if we just drew a line straight up, you notice that it's also two yellow squares wide. So there's four yellow squares in a green square. And now if we're looking at it, we see that this white square here is one, two, three yellow squares. And since we know that is a square, then we know that it's going to be three yellow squares tall as well. So what we have here is we're going to have a yellow square, which is 1 unit, and there's going to be 4 of them in a green as far as the area, and then 9 in a white square. So our first step here would be compare the shapes. So then what we have to do, since we now know that, okay, a yellow square we're going to say is 1, then a green is 4 units squared, and then our white is going to be 9 units. So what we can do here is then we can say, okay, how many yellow squares do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So then what we can do is we can say, all right, 1 times 10, because we know that there are 10 of them, that's going to be 10 units of area that is covered. Then the green here, we're going to count those up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So again, we're going to say that there's 10 green squares, and since each green square is 4 yellow squares, we're going to do 4 times 10, which has an area of 40. Then for the white, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so we're going to multiply that by 5 here. 9 times 5 is 45, so the white squares take up 45 units of space. So once we compare each shape's area, what we can do is we can count the shapes, and then we can multiply, and then we compare the areas. So in this one here, we know that the large white squares are going to cover more of the plane.